Jeff, I appreciate the weekly email where I said, "Hey, what's everybody been playing?" So we know what we can talk about. You just provided a link to 20 years of Zero Wing memes.
Yeah, this is Kate Willert posted this on Twitter. The 20th anniversary of the Newgrounds animation of all the original batch of Zero Wing, All Your Base Are Belong to Us photoshops, which kind of kicked off this was before that like Gabber Robots like song, like that kind of I think became the popular version of this, but yeah, this blew up, and God, the All Your Base, this 2001, I guess that stuff was so everywhere in a way that few things had been on the internet at that point.
Yeah, like what was in this category at that time? Like Mahir,
Dancing Baby.
Yeah, sure, like the Ally McBeal Dancing Baby, but that kind of has its roots on television, so it's sort of, I mean, it almost doesn't count. But yeah, the Mahir, You Can Stay My Home stuff, the Hello My Future Girlfriend kid.
Okay. Yeah. The Star Wars kid?
Star Wars
Probably
Kid was later.
Was that later?
No, Star Wars Kid was later. Maybe not much later, but Star Wars Kid was later.
Okay.
I had moved out by then, so that had to have been that may have been in that same lane, but yeah, it was like this was the moment when all of those photoshops that everyone on Something Awful was doing then just broke out in a huge way. I think as Kate Willard pointed out, like Time Magazine was reporting on this within a couple of weeks, and Frank Provo was writing a FAQ about it, and all this other stuff. It just hard to, I mean, I don't know, like it's hard to say like just how big this was for what the internet was then, because I think like today people burn through a meme in an hour.
The meme economy is too fast.
Exactly. Yes. Then it spreads to people who are already too late on it by the time they're starting in on it, and so you've just got those concentric circles of like, by the time you get out to circle 3, the people in circle 1 are looking at it going like, fucking whatever, we have 5 more since then. This was like a lasting, crazy, almost self-sustaining, like as more and more people found out about it, it just got like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was bizarre. It just started, I think at some point we fucking, I don't know if we linked to the fact, I forget what it was, but at some point the GameSpot homepage said those words on it, and I don't remember in what context, but no one was immune. No one.
No.
It was everywhere.
Nor did we know what other far more destructive things Something Awful would go on to give birth to.
Oh God, yeah, right. I mean, Something Awful is
truly Something Awful.
It's ground zero for just
dude, the lineage from that site too.
Bad spin-off forums, shifty discords. There's a whole. It's a mess. Disgusting.
right up to the upending of modern society.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. Yes.
Quite a legacy. Quite a legacy.
It's under new ownership now, so I'm sure everything will be fine.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes. Well, they seem to be far more transparent so far.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually? Oh, I'm sure you have, because you play everything old. But like, is Zero Wing actually like a decent game? Is there anything noteworthy at all about it?
No, not really. Not especially. I don't think so. There's a different. What is it? There's a so that was the Mega Drive version. The Japanese Mega Drive version was the one that was immortalized. But the game did come out for other platforms. I mean, it was originally in arcades.
I didn't know the Japanese version would have an English translation in it.
That's why it's so bad.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I believe I should double check, because it might not be the Japanese version. It might be like there's a UK version that has that translation in it. Is that what it is? You know what? I'm not going to look. I'm not going to open those windows and check right now.
That's fine.
But yeah, so Zero Wing, it was an arcade game. It came to PC Engine on CD, but none of those quite had what you wanted out of it at that point. But But yeah, what is it? It's one of those Toaplan shooters like Truxton and just there's like a variety of shooters that company made. I'm going to look up a list of them now. Hellfire, like there was a good run that they had of shooters that people really liked. Apparently they also made Snow Bros. I did not know. Oh yeah, Snow Bros.
Snows before. No.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. That will not be the title of this episode.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Tempting though it may be.
Yes, no, Chad is saying it is the UK version of Zero Wing that has that English translation in it. So okay. So that's right, because yes, the Japanese version then eventually got like translated by someone else who said like that's not really, I mean, here's what it's supposed to kind of say. But yeah, it's like Zero Wing always struck me as a very average shooter in an era when there were a zillion of those types of shooters. And I would rather play, an Arrow Flash or something along those lines. Certainly a Gaiaris.
A Thunder Force.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, if you're going to start at the top, I mean, Jesus Christ, of course, a goddamn Thunder Force 2 or 3. I mean, fuck.
Yes.
Shit. Yes.
Yes.
Would you rather go lick the pavement or eat a meal, man?
Let me think about it.
All right, fair enough.
Does 20 years seem like the kind of minimum cutoff to you for like, oh my God, I'm gonna die someday? You know what I mean? Like the wow, that was 20 years ago. Wow, that is a real gut check of wow, time has passed in a significant fashion. You know what I mean? Like 10 years, kind of whatever. Like 15 is getting up there, but 20 is 2 solid fucking decades.
Yeah,
since a major milestone, and it's like wow, this puts some things in perspective.
It puts things in perspective as to how different the internet was then. Like having this moment, grounding it and looking at it and thinking about like, man, it was all so simple once. And like it was also like, for as connected as the internet was compared to not having an internet, it was so much like more siloed and disconnected and stuff than it is today. I mean, that's just like pre-social media, right? It's not, it's not even necessarily 20 years ago. It's like when you didn't have timelines full of bullshit heading your way on every device, when you didn't have, this was before even the T-Mobile Sidekick, God damn it. This was really hard to get the internet in your pants. And yeah, so I think, yeah, it's a real crazy, it's not necessarily the 20 years. It's just literally like how different things were then. Because when I think about like 10 years ago, we were kind of doing this, not, like were things different? Yes. Was YouTube in a different place? Sure. Was streaming culture not really quite a thing yet? Like, yeah, kind of, but it was a very different world in that sense. But I do think there's like a pre-social media, post-social media, like a pre, I guess I would say Twitter, really, because Facebook and MySpace were based around you making friends with people and making that connection before you saw their bullshit, whereas like Twitter you can just kind of retweet shit into people's faces.
Twitter is very much bullshit. Twitter is very much bullshit forward, I find.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's what makes it good, right? But there's I think that's one of those big dividing lines for the internet, right? You probably go back. I'm trying to think like what would even be before that. There's like AOL gets onto the internet. There's like Mozilla begins to like the World Wide Web, graphical internet starts to exist. Like yeah, like there are like those sorts of milestones. I feel like looking back on it now that it's been over a decade of Twitter, like that's a big dividing line for, I think, society in a weird way, especially these days when you look at like the last even 6 months of how Twitter has dominated headlines and the role it's played in various things. Of course, Facebook, obviously a huge part in a lot of that fucking horse shit as well, but there's something different about Twitter. Like I said, you don't have to make friends per se. Just follow people.
It's the most antisocial.
Follow me. In conclusion, follow me on Twitter.
Yes, do that.